Hello guys, welcome back to Seek Spot. In the last video, we discussed about what is a cell and what are different types of cell organelles and what are their functions. In this video, we will be discussing about the structure and function of deoxyribonucleic acid, abbreviated as DNA. This video will shed light on structure of DNA and how DNA is packed inside the nucleus and overview of what is mutation. So let's start from what is DNA made up of. The basic building block of DNA is called nucleotide. DNA is a polymer made up of long chain of these nucleotides. Each nucleotide contains a phosphate group and a sugar molecule called deoxyribose. Actually, naturally occurring sugar is ribose. DNA contains modified form of ribose. Sugar molecule is numbered based on the position of their carbon atoms like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So you can see in the ribose, second and third carbon is linked to a hydroxyl group, but the modified form of ribose in DNA, second carbon is linked to only a hydrogen atom, oxygen is missing. Hence it is known as deoxyribose and hence the name deoxyribonucleic acid. And this sugar molecule is covalently linked to a nitrogenous base that can be either adenine denoted as K or guanine denoted as G or cytosine denoted as C or thymine denoted as T. And you see the minus sign on these oxygen atoms in the phosphate group. This minus sign indicates that the oxygen atom has one more bond that can be linked to another atom. Now let's see how these nucleotides are connected to each other and form a chain. So this is the chain of nucleotides connected to each other. Here you see this is one nucleotide with adenine as a nitrogenous base, and this is the other nucleotide with guanine as a nitrogenous base. So the phosphate group connected to the fifth carbon position of a sugar molecule of one nucleotide is linked to the third carbon position of a sugar molecule of other nucleotide. This linkage is known as phosphodiester linkage or phosphodiester bond. This bond connects the nucleotides to each other, forming a backbone of a DNA molecule. And nucleotide at one end of the chain contains free hydroxyl group at the third carbon position of its sugar, and this end is known as 3' end. Whereas the nucleotide at other end contains free phosphate group connected to the fifth carbon position of a sugar and is known as 5' end. And still you can see oxygen atom of each phosphate group contains minus sign on it. Due to the presence of these negatively charged phosphate group, DNA becomes a negatively charged molecule. And what we have seen here is the single strand of DNA. But the DNA is actually double stranded. This is one strand and this is the other strand, and both the strands are anti-parallel to each other, which means they are placed side by side but in opposite direction. Like this strand contains a 5' end here and a 3' end here. The other strand will start in the opposite direction with 5' end here and a 3' end here. Simply say the head of one strand is laid upon the tail of the other strand, and the nucleotide of both the strands are connected to each other by a bond called hydrogen bonds formed between nitrogenous bases. And a scientist named Erwin Chargaff discovered that nucleotide with adenine can only bind with nucleotide with thymine and vice versa with two hydrogen bonds formed, whereas nucleotide with guanine can only bind with nucleotide with cytosine with 3 hydrogen bonds formed, and this rule is named as Chargaff's rule. So if you know the number of adenine nucleotides present in a DNA molecule, you can actually tell the number of thymine nucleotides. Similarly, if you know the number of cytosine nucleotides, you can also tell the number of guanine nucleotides in a DNA. And here is the more simplified structure of DNA. This is the sugar phosphate bond and these are the nitrogenous bases connected to each other. In the native form, DNA looks like this. It forms a double helical structure with both the strands coiled each other. the DNA of a single human cell is uncoiled and stretched, it will be around 6 feet long. An average human adult body has trillions of cells. It is predicted that if the DNA from all the trillion cells is stretched end to end, its length will be 61 times the distance between Sun and Earth. That is a huge length. Now let's see how 6 feet long DNA is packed into a tiny microscopic structure called nucleus. Let me give you an example. Assume this thread as a DNA molecule. A better way to keep it compressed and organized is to keep it rolled like this. Similar pattern is followed in the case of DNA packaging. The negatively charged double helical DNA molecule is wrapped around a positively charged protein called histone. These are different domains of histone, and this complex is known as nucleosome. These nucleosomes fold up to form a loop of fiber called chromatin fiber, which is tightly packed into a structure called chromosome. So the nucleus of a human cell contains 23 pairs of such chromosomes. So total 46 chromosomes. Each pair of chromosome has one chromosome from your mom and one chromosome from your dad. Among these 22 pairs are called autosomes, and the 23rd one is called allosome. It is responsible for determining whether you are male or female. Males have one X chromosome and one Y chromosome, whereas females have two X chromosomes. Now let's move on to what is mutation. Mutation is defined as changes in DNA sequence. In the last video, we have discussed that DNA has all the information to encode proteins, and proteins are responsible for various cellular functions. Any changes in the DNA will result in change in the structure of a protein and its function. Changes in DNA can either occur at genetic level or at chromosomal level. At genetic level, only single base pair is affected, like either it is deleted or inserted, or a wrong nucleotide is substituted in a base pair. There are different subtypes of this kind of mutations. I am not discussing each of them here. For more details, check on the link in the description. And what happens at the chromosomal level is, during cell division, all the chromosomes are needed to be copied exactly from one cell to the other. Any error in this copying mechanism will result in these kind of mutations, which include deletion of a segment of chromosome, or duplication of a same segment of chromosome twice, or inversely added segment of chromosome, etc. Sometimes among the pair of chromosomes, segment of one chromosome is substituted to the other, or segment of chromosome is translocated to each other. The next question is, what causes these mutations to occur? There are multiple factors that induce mutations. Exposure to radiation like ultraviolet rays, X-rays and gamma rays can induce mutation and cause different types of diseases like skin cancer, etc. Chemical substances that are present in tobacco and tobacco-derived products, and certain chemicals that are added in food products to enhance the taste, and some chemicals used in skincare products can also cause various mutations. And infections with various biological agents like pathogenic bacteria or a virus can also induce different mutations. When I say virus, now the hot topic is newly emerging variants of coronavirus. What does that mean? Coronavirus contains RNA as a genetic material. Newly occurring mutations of this RNA results in the development of new variant strain of the virus. To understand the infection mechanism and the development of new variants of coronavirus, watch the suggested video on the top right corner of the screen. Now let's see whether mutations are harmful or helpful. From centuries, mutation has been the source of superpowers in many Hollywood movies, but not in real life. Mutations can be either beneficial or harmful or neutral. Certain mutations can result in the production of new version of proteins with more advantage. For example, there are some snakes that eat newts but the chemical present in newts actually poisoned the snakes. Later it was found that mutation in certain snakes made them resistant to this poison. These kind of mutations are actually necessary for survival and are responsible for evolution. Some mutations that affect the expression of harmful genes in chromosomes which are already active are also beneficial. In contrast, most of the mutations give rise to inactive or non-functional protein resulting in protein malfunctions. Some of these kind of mutations may be lethal to life and cause various diseases and genetic disorders. Mutation has been the major cause of cancer. While some mutations can neither harm your body nor benefit, these type of mutations are called silent mutations. And thank you for watching the video. If you have any doubts, comment below, like, share and subscribe to SeekSpot.